So today we are in conversation for Wool Week 2020. Dashing Tweeds has collaborated with some sheep farmers up in Lancashire, and today we'll be discussing the project, how Dashing Tweeds collaborated with them, all celebrating wool for Wool Week.
Well, I'm Jo Burrows. I farm sheep in northeastern Cheshire, right on the border with Derbyshire. I have a hill farm. I farm Swaledale ewes and I breed mule lambs, mainly for breeding market, but also meat market as well.
I'm John Taylor, farming in the northwest of Lancashire, right up against the Cumbrian border in the lower reaches of the Lune Valley. Our farm is structured so that we basically do moorland sheep, which we breed a proportion of them pure. Then we fetch the older ones down and cross them the same as what Joe does with a blue-faced Leicester to create what is termed a mule. And then we use that mule to produce finished lambs for the food chain. The wool is where we got connected up with Dashing Tweeds.
What drew you to Dashing Tweeds, and how did the whole collaboration and the whole process start for you guys?
We came across Dashing Tweeds when we went on so we had this idea of wearing our sheep, which we thought would be nice. And then we went on a Savile Row tour. I think it was a birthday present for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
And I'm trying to remember the lady's name who took us around. But it was sort of going through my head that, oh, maybe we should sort of ask some of these tailors that we're meeting. And she took us to you, and we thought, these are the people, you know, your designs were just amazing. They were stunning.
Could I ask,
yeah.
What did you used to do with the wool? So every year you were shearing the sheep. What used to happen to that wool?
It all goes to the British Wool Marketing Board.
They act as brokers. It's held in their store. They grade it and bale it and store it for sale. A lot of our wool would normally be on a coarser type of wool, which would predominantly end up in the carpeting industry.
Progress along. So you'd met us, and then what was the next steps for you guys?
Then we worked out it's possible.
It wasn't just about the wool and the fibre that we were producing, it was about the story, excuse me, that was behind it. And I think we came down to see you and sit down and see whether it was feasible with the fibres that we produce to start with.
Oh, yes, we brought a handful of each different breed's wool with us.
Yeah.
So that we could get an idea from you and Guy as to whether or not it was actually just a mad idea or whether it's something that would actually work. Yeah.
So once we had the confidence that it would work, we went through the process of actually turning raw wool shorn off the sheep into a cloth. And the first place we had to go to was get it cleaned, which I've mentioned before.
We had to shear them first. We had to decide who we were going to shear for what.
Oh yeah.
So we picked on some wethers which would be, you were going to house them, weren't you?
Yeah, they'd been housed a month from the middle of December, and had got to eating hard feed in hoppers under cover. A month later we shore them, and
we thought they'd got longer length of time to grow their wool. We had an idea that the longer they had to grow their wool, the better the lengthier the staple would be.
Yeah. So the hoggets, which is halfway between an adult and a lamb.
Right.
In that
Teenagers. That's what they were.
Or do you want to tell us about the kind of colour process and, maybe our meetings in Dashing Tweeds and what that journey was for you?
Yeah, we were asked to provide some photos of our farms so that we could sort of pick colours for the fabric itself and to go into the pattern. So I went through my photo album and picked out lots of pictures of the sheep and the countryside around. And I thought, well, there's a lot of green on this. And it's not my favourite colour particularly. But what we also had were some beautiful blue skies, and the marker that I use, my flock mark on my sheep, is a bright blue, so they would have blue marks on them as well. And the other sort of colours we get were you can get some very nice sunsets around here.
Yeah.
So you get the sort of golden colours, and there's the bracken in the autumn starts to go a sort of golden colour as well. I was quite keen on having some magenta or pink somewhere because it's my favourite colour, and I guess I did ask specifically, and I hope they haven't forgotten to put some pink in. But yeah, there's magenta in the pattern itself, a nice light line through it. But also we have heather around here, which actually is magenta, so it kind of describes the landscape, I think, really well.
Yeah.
When we'd taken your colours that you'd kind of sent us photos, and we kind of worked on a colour palette, and we kind of looked at ideas and designs, and then we sent you some kind of options to look at. What did you first think of those when you saw them?
Really good.
We thought, oh, they're lovely.
Yeah. There was no, oh, I don't like that. No, it was, they're cool.
No.
They're good. Yeah.
And with the designs, it was really difficult to choose which one we wanted. Oh, I like that. And no, I like that one. It's quite a difficult decision.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's nice being spoiled for choice, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Yes.
What would you say your biggest learnings, and what do you think the future is for kind of British wool industry? Is this something that you would like to carry on with, or was it kind of would you like other farmers to kind of get involved in doing their own kind of wool collaborations and wearing their wool going forward? What do you think is the future?
I think that would be a really good thing to do if groups of farmers collaborated together. I'm not sure how it would work, but I think it's a really good idea. I'd love to do it again. I was aware that the wool production, the wool fabric industry was far sort of, it was declining, and I had this sense that there was hardly anywhere that you could get British wool made anymore. What I have learnt is that they are alive and well, and that there's lots and lots of mills all through northern England and other parts of England where they actually are processing wool. I thought we'd lost the skill, but I don't think we have, which is really, that I should have mentioned it earlier, but that is just so heartening that we haven't lost it completely, and we might be able to sort of just, sort of get some of that skill back again and expand it again, which would be really lovely if that could happen. But that was really, it was great to discover just how much it is still an industry in this country. We haven't lost it completely, which is great.
We've all enjoyed it, and we've all been really excited to see the final product, and I think it's really great as well sharing the story with so many people, because I think so many people do need to be educated about where their clothes come from, and also like the fibre, where is the fibre from, and what is that process in manufacturing textiles. So it's been really, really great for us, and I think really great for the people that support and follow us as well.
Can I place an order for a coat?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, we want to get our coats made.